trenches. It was like on the landing grounds.
Thank you for joining me. This is A Radio and the Morning Minute. Today I'm going to read you an article by Viv Forbes, who is the chairman of the Carbon Sense Coalition in Australia. And this is from an article in 2011. 2 years ago, in June 2009, supported by a few other maverick climate skeptics and even fewer in the non-government media, the Carbon Sense Coalition opposed the Rudd-Wong-Turnbull ration and tax scheme. The public support of skeptics was dramatically contrasted with the lack of support from big business. The people and the skeptics won, and Rudd-Wong-Turnbull rat's scheme was beaten. But the carbon war is far from over. Now Brown-Gillard combat, trying to ram down our throats a new carbon tax followed by a revamped rats scheme. We are not helped in this battle by lukewarmists such as Greg Hunt, and we face daily alarmism from the whole government media research empire. But the skeptics are now far more numerous. The public is far more aroused, and some politicians are getting nervous. They know they will never forget who votes for the carbon tax bills. And that's what's going to happen in Canada. Canadians won't forget who voted for this government. They won't forget these MPs who imposed the carbon tax on Canadians and destroyed this economy. They know that we will never forget who votes for the carbon tax bills. We will remember them in the next election, as the Tories in the UK are learning. The political consensus that defined action to curb carbon emissions and tackle climate change is drawing to a close. James Murray, Business Green, October 5, 2011. And Green/ALP Coalition needs to remember political parties that campaign in favour of the action on climate change get smashed at the polls. Tim Montgomery, Conservative Home, October 6, 2010. So let's have a look at it. 10 key tests for carbon tax bills. 1. Is there any evidence of unusual and dangerous global warming? Answer: no. Therefore, we should reject the carbon tax bill. 2. If we do nothing, will it cause runaway global warming? No. Therefore, we should reject it. 3. Is there an unusual or dangerous amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere? No. Therefore, we should reject the carbon tax. 4. Does carbon dioxide control global temperatures? Answer: no. Therefore, we should reject carbon tax. 5. Can human action control the levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere? No. Therefore, we should reject carbon tax. 6. Is extra carbon dioxide a pollutant in the atmosphere or a danger to life on Earth? No. Therefore, we should reject carbon tax. 7. Will our tax on carbon dioxide have any effect on the world production of carbon dioxide or global climate change? No. Therefore, we should reject the tax. 8. Will big economies in our region, such as the USA, Japan, China, India, follow us in taxing and rationing carbon fuels? No. Therefore, we should reject the carbon tax. 9. Will the majority of competitors such as Indonesia, Brazil, South Africa follow us in taxing carbon dioxide? The answer is no. Therefore, we should reject it. I will point out that Canada is in the list, and at this time, this document, carbon dioxide was not going to be taxed in Canada. But we know where we are now, don't we? 10. Are the benefits of taxing carbon dioxide likely to exceed the costs in job losses, wasted savings, destruction of asset values, and increased costs for electricity, transport, food, and construction materials? No. The carbon tax bill have failed the 10-point test, thus should be rejected. And that article is from Viv Forbes, the chairman of the Carbon Sense Coalition in Australia. And that was in 2011. So the point I want to make here is that just like here, this is what was going on in Australia before they had carbon dioxide tax forced on them. Their politicians were blind to their citizens, just like the Liberal Communists are in Canada. So this is the situation we face, and it's not unique, except this communist is using the Canadian media in such an artful way to paint a totally false impression that Canadians, all Canadians, are in favour of paying an extra tax for a God-given gas, carbon dioxide, and the totally false impression that this naturally occurring item is evil, the biggest lie and falsehood in history, perpetrated on you and your faithful Canadian media to give the impression that all Canadians believe this lie. So what I'm saying is simple. The Canadian media are in cahoots with the federal government of Canada to paint a falsehood that all Canadians believe that carbon dioxide is evil and should be removed. Trouble is, that means all humans have to be removed. You can find more at aradio.wordpress.com. I'm on Twitter at @ARadioCanada. I'm also on Facebook at @ARadioCanada. I'm now on Gab at @ARadio. You can email me at aradiocanada@gmail.com. And you can also listen to my morning minutes on Spreaker.com under A-Radio. That's EHRADIO, A-Radio. And please click the like button. And you can also find all my podcasts and morning minutes at aradio.wordpress.com and click on the Morning Minutes tab.